Good morning. It's Wednesday, the 30th of October, and today we're going to be looking at Judges 6 and 7, the story of Gideon in the Old Testament, in the book of Judges. And if you know me and my husband Adam at all, then you're probably going to think we have some things to say about this guy, because we named our eldest son Gideon after the Gideon in the Bible. And so, yes, it is a very special story for us. And so I just thought I might share a little bit of our story, our life story with you this morning, if that's okay. So when God found Gideon in the Bible, not our son, when he found Gideon in the Bible, he found him threshing wheat in a wine press. Okay, basically doing the wrong thing in the wrong place at the wrong time. Okay, it was a ridiculous thing to be doing. And when the angel of God found Gideon, he said, "Mighty man of valor." He called him mighty man of valor. You have to say that not too quick, because otherwise it sounds like mighty man of Allah, which is not the idea. No, mighty man of valor. And sometimes don't you feel that way? Don't you feel like God says, "Hey, you have got such potential, such strength, there's so much in you," and you say, "Oh, really? Here I am doing the wrong thing in the wrong place at the wrong time." But God says, "No, you are mighty and you are brave and you've got this." So even if you just take that little nugget, it's great. But yes, so the story of Gideon really spoke to Adam and I about 30 years ago. A little while before our Gideon was born. And what happened was this. Adam was working for a bank. Now, he trained as a musician, but he was working for a bank. And we just really felt like we really wanted him to be working in music, and we felt that that's what God wanted for him as well. So Adam wrote 100 letters to different music companies to tell them about himself and to send them his CV. And he was just about to post these and hand in his notice at work. He had a month to go at his workplace. He'd handed in his notice. And so he's about to post them. And he really felt God speak to him through this story of Gideon. Because in the account of Gideon in chapters 7 and 8 that we're looking at today, you'll see that Gideon is told to go to war. And he takes a massive army. And when God sees this massive army, he says, no, this is too much. If you win with this massive army, everyone's going to think that it's because you brought a great army into battle. But actually, if you take a tiny army, a ridiculous army, then everyone's going to understand that this is, yes, it's your triumph, but it's also your triumph because of God. And so we had these 100 letters, they all had stamps on, and we felt like God say, don't send a single letter. Now, that was really hard and harsh because we'd already put the stamps on, and you sort of feel like you don't want to waste the money. But we felt that God had said it, so of course we did it. And time kept going and time kept going. And it was one day before his job at the bank was going to end, and there was not a sniff of a job. But we were really holding on in faith. And then the day before Adam's job finished, I was sitting on a train. I was going into London, sat on a train, and I sat next to a guy, and I got chatting to this guy and explained a bit about our life, and discovered that this guy was also a Christian and was looking for someone with Adam's exact skill set. And so the day after Adam got the job, the day after that, he flew to Germany and started work for this company, selling sort of Christian worship tracts to churches all over the country and over Europe. And it was an incredible job, but also just an incredible miracle. Like, no letters went out, and yet this was the perfect job for him with the perfect skill set, and even taught him skills that he didn't have before that led on to his future work as well. So when Gideon was born, we felt we wanted to commit this child's life to this great testimony of God in our lives. And so maybe today you've got something huge and you feel like you know that God wants it for you, and you're tempted to take matters into your own hands and to solve the problem with your own strength. But I'm here to tell you that's not what Gideon did. It's not what we did. when God commanded us to not act in our own strength, but to trust in him. And so I hope that you can do that too, with whatever is the challenge that is facing you. And as you run into battle, you'll know that you can cry the same cry that Gideon cried. Gideon cried for the Lord and for Gideon. And you can put your own name in that, for Fru and for the Lord, or your name, because God wants to be glorified, because that's right, but he also wants to bless you because it gives him joy. Have a great day. See you tomorrow.